Hiya, Ronnie here, coming at you with a video. Um, 5 to 11, it's quite late for me. Um, it's going to be a busy month for me. Um, uh, Going to a wedding. Um, and then there's Tabletop Scotland. And at that time, my daughter is coming down with her boyfriend, fiance, if we're going to get technical. She is engaged to Jamie. Um, and they're coming down for holiday. And I'm looking forward to it all. Please don't mistake what I'm about to say as not wanting things to happen or anything else. But it's going to be an awful lot of social interaction in a very short space of time. It's best part of a fortnight. With a lot of people I don't know. And whilst I am going to the wedding, I am going to Tabletop Scotland. Saffron is coming down with Jamie. Whilst all those things are happening, and I've no intentions of them not happening, or me not going, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. It's just a lot of people. And I find interaction with people very difficult. I am, by any stretch, very shy. As I've said before, I'm okay at a gaming table, which is why Tabletop Scotland maybe doesn't worry me as much. But outside of that, I find even general conversation very difficult. It is also the reason why I am so often single for long periods of time. Since I started dating, when I was 17, didn't have a girlfriend before then. It tends to be that I go for long periods between relationships. And there's a couple of factors in that. One is, being broken-hearted and being upset and needing to heal from that. But then also just self-esteem and shyness. So I am not very... It takes me a while. Since my last relationship ended, that was end of January 2020. I've not been with anyone else. Now, a part of that is due to COVID. There just wasn't a lot of socializing happening. But a lot of it is to do with me just being just genuinely very, very shy and sort of awkward socially. I get very anxious. And I don't have the excuse of if I'm out in a social situation, having a drink or two to loosen my tongue, because I'm teetotal. I've never been. I am in my 50s now, and I've never been drunk in my life, and I have no intentions of it. Last time alcohol passed my lips was when I was 19, 20, and that was just a swig, just to sort of prove to friends I could if I wanted to. But I just didn't want to. And I'm not one of these Puritans who demands that other people don't drink. I think that's an incredibly rude thing to do. But I certainly don't drink myself. So that shyness, that awkwardness, I don't have the excuse of any sort of chemical sort of lowering my inhibitions. And I've never considered taking any sort of recreational drug. I mean, I'm on medication for depression and anxiety, but I've never taken any sort of, like ecstasy or um, marijuana or any of the sort of harder drugs. Or they've never interested me. I just, even as a kid, I never saw the fun in it, so I never did it. And it's just very difficult. And I've been watching the odd video and it talking about one of my favourite subjects to sort of rail against the incel movement. And I've said in previous videos, by the technical definition, I would be classed as an incel, in so much as would like to have a romantic or sexual relationship and unable to do so. I think the difference between myself and the sort of classic case of the incel is I don't see the problem as being someone else. The problem is myself, and I don't say that in a deliberately negative way. What I mean is, I'm not very outgoing. I don't exude any sort of confidence, and as such, I'm not seen as attractive. That's understandable. That's my baggage. So yeah, it's frustrating because I have a pulse. I have needs. I'm not. I have no wish to be celibate, and I'm sure as hell not asexual. But it, I'm not one of those people who blames other. You see some of these nutcases, and you're thinking, oh my God, you hear them rant about, why don't women like me? Why don't, I'm an amazing person. And you kind of sit there and you watch them and you go, if you could actually look at yourself and see what you're saying and the way you're saying it, that's why women aren't dating you. As for me, it's just, I really don't put myself out there. I'm not very good at engaging conversation. I'm not very good at making the first move. I have never ever asked a woman out and her say yes. And I think that's a mixture of asking the wrong woman, i.e. someone who was never going to be interested in me regardless, it just didn't click, and B, coming across as so sort of awkward and backwards in doing so that it just fell on deaf ears. But again, that's my issue. But I am frustrated, and I am. Loneliness is doesn't really help with you know having good mental health. Um, so it's almost like a cycle. But it is a little frustrating. Um, as I say, I'm kind of anxious. I'm going to be around a lot of strangers at the wedding. Most of them will be, not all, but most of them will be drinking. Whilst I don't demand that other people don't drink around me, I sure as hell get nervous when people are drunk around me, especially if I don't know them. So yeah, I have a feeling that I mean I'll be there and I'll be there, but I'm glad that there are people that I do know at the weddings. I'm feeling I'm going to be sitting near them with them for the majority of the night. Um, but yeah, it's I'm just hoping it all works out. So just me voicing a few worries. Um, as is usual, I use these videos as much as anything just to voice worries rather than catastrophize in my head. Just voice it, get it out there, voice it, post it, get it, deal with it, um, rather than let it fester. Um, so yeah, thanks very much for watching.